Hello, everybody. I'm Daphne Cheng, and I moved to Shanghai 2 years ago. I'm originally born in America, and I'm a chef and an entrepreneur. I've opened several restaurants in New York that are still running and successful, and I moved to Shanghai to also open restaurants, but also a members club that is for entrepreneurs and investors to collaborate and create new ventures. I've been a female entrepreneur. I started my first business and bootstrapped through credit cards and a little bit of cash that I earned as a real estate agent in New York. And so I've had to struggle through, working through a male-dominated business landscape. So especially in the restaurant industry, it's unheard of to have a female chef. So when most people see me, they're like, wait, you're a chef? Because they see a girl. So it's mind-boggling to these people that I could be a chef and that I could be a business owner. And so my mission is really to help change that perception and show and inspire fellow female entrepreneurs that they can achieve their goals. So unfortunately, it's been built through culture and tradition through thousands of years where male have been in the dominant positions. We're up against these cultural biases, and there's this infamous VC who proclaimed that he doesn't invest in female CEOs. Globally, female entrepreneurs only get 3% of the funding, and in the workplace, females earn 68 miao for every yuan that a male makes for the same job, the same quality of work. And this is completely unfair and unjust. So among some of the difficulties that we face in this uphill battle would be, outright disrespect. I've been in meetings with investors that, didn't even pay attention to what I was saying. They were just looking at their phones, and it was like I was just talking to myself. So that's kind of a huge barrier when you're already trying to work really hard on building your own business, but instead you have to, overcome these cultural barriers and biases that, it should just be looking at merit, right? I was always confused why, in these investor meetings that why couldn't you just see my merit, my track record? Just take a look. Like I'm a successful business owner. I have revenue, and I've been working and building my brand for years, and I couldn't understand. So fortunately, I actually feel that in China, females do get more respect than in America. And there's a number of reasons. There are more female entrepreneurs here. There's more females on the investment side. So actually, the thing is that you have to recognize that being female is an advantage. It's not a weakness. And so once you realize that actually female founders or companies that have female founders on the team actually perform better, their revenues are higher than if they were only a male founding team. And studies have shown that females have a higher emotional intelligence, which means that they can build a stronger company culture. Females are also more effective communicators, and so we are better at negotiations, and females are better at problem solving and analyzing data, and just the way that our brains are built. So the first place to start is to build self-confidence. If you don't feel confident in yourself, then nobody will ever believe in you, and you won't believe in yourself either. So take the time to invest in yourself. You can focus on your work. So, making sure that you yourself are becoming the most effective, the smartest, the hardest working person that you can be. And then when you create results, then people can't argue with those results. Actually, everybody has their own skills and strengths, so if you focus on those, really celebrate them, be proud of yourself, and say to yourself every day, I'm amazing, and I'm smart, I'm funny, and I'm a hard worker. Focus on these things, and starting to really show yourself some love and appreciation for who you are. You can build confidence also by faking it. For example, your mind and your body are actually very connected. And so when you smile, that even if you're not happy, the smiling releases the hormones that make you happy. So when you actually don't feel happy or you don't feel confident, you can, trick your brain into feeling confident by doing the motions. So for confidence, there's, power posing, like this, and if you're about to give a speech or something, you can raise your hand. So that's called a power pose. And so these actions, they actually make you feel more confident. And then always, recognize that everybody is a work in progress. Nobody is perfect, and you can celebrate your strengths, but also work on your weaknesses. So if you are, you're not very good at public speaking, just practice that, and then over time, as you become better through practice, then you will become more confident just from, becoming actually better and seeing the improvement. So now that you're feeling confident in yourself, so how do you convince other people that, you deserve respect? First of all, you should show people how you want to be treated. So it's kind of making sure that you state your boundaries and show them that, maybe if they're criticizing you or talking down to you, you're standing up and saying, no, I'm not gonna, accept that. And if you can also use facts and data, so nobody can argue when, your P&L, it states that you're making this much revenue, you can't argue with the facts. So always you make sure that you're backing up what you are thinking and saying with hard data, and then nobody can argue with you. But so I think a lot of problems for women is that we don't want to appear too boastful. We don't, I think it's a little bit easier for men because they're more encouraged to talk about their achievements and their accomplishments. But for women, we're taught to be, very modest and very quiet, and so we're kind of afraid to, be too boastful. And then finally, if you want to be respected, then you should show respect first. So treat people how you want to be treated, and there is a natural instinct in humans to mirror behavior, and it's the mirror neurons. They mimic what you are doing. So show respect first. So a lot of it is actually you might have inner confidence. I always was confident in my skills as a chef, but I wasn't portraying that confidence. So, when I was younger, I was very, very shy. I was very, very quiet, and I didn't want to be boastful. I just wanted to be a nice girl. But actually, then people, you sell yourself short, and then people don't take you seriously. And so, ways to do that, like I demonstrated before, is with the posture. So making sure you're standing up straight and using an assertive tone of voice. So, being very confident in your speech, but actually, that's something that slowly needs to be overcome. But if you kind of keep your composure, then hopefully we'll slowly be able to fight that. And then lastly, you can build strength, literally build strength by exercising. And, I just started doing Muay Thai, and it's really fun, but it also makes me more confident in myself because, I'm getting stronger every day, every time I practice, and I feel the difference, and it does really help, build your self-confidence when you are physically stronger. So men and women have very, very different ways of communicating and ways of understanding. And so, sometimes what you're saying doesn't register, or it didn't have the same meaning as what you intended. And so make sure that what you're saying is coming across in the right way and that the other party is actually understanding you. So there is also an unconscious bias in everybody. And so it's even in yourself that it probably exists. And so, the way to fight that is, unfortunately, is just through continuing to learn. And unfortunately, if the men don't know themselves that they have this bias, then it's really difficult to fight that. And then, so there's unfortunately a whole long history and tradition of male, dominated landscape. So they've built this network, an old boys club where, men are usually doing business with men because they have, the relationships and the history. So how do we as women enter and break into that, old boys club? We should have to, first participate in those bonding activities. So, business is done through relationships, and so we have to build those relationships. But, if we're not comfortable attending what they're doing, then we should, maybe invite them to something that we're more suitable and comfortable in. And so then it's, how do we build relationships with the men? And then lastly, it's important for men to know that just because females are succeeding, it doesn't mean that they're not succeeding anymore. And so I think that's a big part of why men are so hesitant about female empowerment, is because they're afraid to lose their positions and their dominance. We don't want to bring men down. We just want to, be treated equally and fairly. So, as a woman, you may still get underestimated a lot, but actually you can use that to your advantage and use the doubt and the criticisms as your fuel, use it to, motivate you and get yourself stronger. You can redirect that energy and channel it into positive energy. It's also an advantage to be underestimated when you're in a competitive environment, and so people don't think that you're that big of a deal or a threat to them, and so then you're just gonna sneak up on them, and then you're gonna, show them that you're the winner. So also we need to involve the men themselves. So there is a strong female movement for female empowerment, but we need to be able to include the men and teach them, this is how you can support a woman, and this is how you should communicate with us, because nobody ever taught men how to do that, and so it's not their fault. And so we should be the ones to say, like, this is not appropriate, and this is how we should be treated. And it's all about clear communication and setting expectations. And if you're a successful woman, then you should be helping the younger generations succeed with you, because collaboration produces more opportunities than competition. And in life in general, every obstacle that you meet is just a test. And if you treat it that way, like it's not a end all be all, it's not a failure, but actually it's just a chance to learn, and it's a chance to show who you really are, and it's a chance to prove yourself. So if you're struggling in life, just keep going and keep proving yourself. There is no glass ceiling. Everything is in your mind and your perspective. Even if people are telling you no, you are ultimately the one who determines how your life is played out, and if you're going to let people tell you no, or if you're going to, succeed. So it's all up to you. Thank you.